I'm Sandy Hopson, and I have been a member of the Raleigh Ringers for the whole 30 years that we've been in existence so far. I started ringing when I was 10. The church that I grew up in, St. Matthew's United Methodist Church in Annandale, Virginia, the choir director was Nancy Capel. And I lucked out in that she was my piano teacher and my choir teacher, so she said, "Hey, do you want to try out handbells?" Well, after I graduated from college, came down to the Raleigh area, and she was who I went back to say, "Okay, I'm down here now. Who should I talk to? I'm in Raleigh." And she's like, "Well, I served on the board with a guy named Dave Harris." So I was like, "Okay." So I called up Dave, and he says, "I'm thinking about starting a community choir." And I was like, "What's a community choir?" Because I've only ever known church choirs. And so I ended up auditioning for the very first group. I had never met Dave before. I never met any of these other people. And that's just how I became a Raleigh Ringer. One of the first things that happened to me that made me think, oh, this is really different than being in a church choir, was when someone came up and asked for our autographs. I had never been part of anything like that before, where, little kids and people that are just impressed and moved by what you've done come up and ask you for your autograph. When I think back to favorite concerts, a few come to mind. When we went over to Paris and we played in a very little town called Marine, we had a co-concert with an organist, and it was a very small church, but it was filled with the people of the town. And just the response that we got from them with the stomping on the floor and the clapping for us to keep playing was very moving. Something completely different from that is when we played for the American Guild of English Handbells, or Handbell Musicians of America. Their concert, it almost had a rock-like concert feel. They were screaming during, the songs and after the songs. And I mean, as much as I love playing for regular audiences, I also really enjoy playing for handbell audiences because they can really appreciate the hard work that we put in behind the music. A favorite commission of mine is just because I love the piece in the first place, is "O Holy Night" by Sandy Ethan, because she just did an amazing job with the song that I love already. The rock pieces all have, especially Hotel California, always have a place in my heart because I'm a rock and roll person. And then I guess Tempest is also one that's very unique. It was one of the very, very early on commissions, but it was difficult and challenging and unique all in one. So our donors are a huge part of our success because we wouldn't have everything that we are in the midst of without them. We started this to help us build our set, and it's really helped create a unique aspect of the Raleigh Ringers, because if we didn't have the different types, it wouldn't create the music that we're able to create with the different types of handbell instruments that we're now able to enjoy playing and performing in front of people. Well, when I think back about where we started and where we are today, I'm pretty proud. I'm really surprised, with just having the church background. I would not think, not knowing what a community group is when we started, that there would be this community group explosion in one case, and just our place in it. I'm proud and floored and want it to continue on long past when I am gone and, in my wheelchair sitting out in the audience. I just want the Raleigh Ringers to go on and on and on.